In this video, I'm going to discuss about games people play, which I've been mentioning in my previous videos on transaction analysis series. So today we'll be discussing on it. So when we talk about games, you'll be wondering, is it like online games or direct games? But I'm here talking about the games we people play. Almost all the human beings, we do play games and we are not aware of it. Again, as the transaction analysis concept goes, this is in our unconscious realm, and we do play this game in a repetitive fashion. So when I keep on mentioning this game, let me explain, like, first of all, what is it? It's like a series of complementary ulterior transactions. So it's like theory, I'll just make it so simple. You would have seen my earlier videos on ego state. So I've mentioned about parent, child, as well as adult. So usually when the complementary means, if I am talking from a parent state, and if you're also in the parent state, then we call it as complementary transactions, right? So let's say, for an example, if I'm asking, where is my car key? And as a friend, you're going to respond, okay, car key is in the hall, you can go and take it. So it's like a complementary transaction. There is no ulterior motive in it. But here, the game is all about, it looks like superficially it's complementary, but it's got a lot of ulterior motive in it. That's why we call it as games. And along with these games, there is one more concept called racketeering, racket. That's a familiar feelings we tend to feel again and again. Why we have to understand this very practical concept is that it's very important and pertinent in our career life, as well as most importantly in our intimate life. So in most of my clinical experience, when I counsel, go for the marital therapy between couples, I could identify a lot of games these people play, and these patterns get repeated always. So when you think about it, you could relate to you by seeing what situations you get yourself into, what situations are occurring recurrently, it is like repetitive, and finally you'll end up with the same kind of feelings. So if it sounds familiar to you, probably you're also playing a game. So let me make it even more simple by illustrating an example. So there are various games mentioned by Eric Berne. So there are a lot of games, but I'm going to explain like two games, very classical games, like If It Weren't For You. That is one game. And one more thing is like Why Don't You? Yes, But. So first let me start with why don't you yes but. Okay, so let's say there is a transaction or a communication happening between a person A and person B. So person A is coming and telling you, okay, maybe he's your friend or she's your friend, is coming and telling you, say, I feel very bad that I'm so obese and I really want to lose weight. So you're trying to rescue the person and trying to help them out by saying that, okay, why don't you just join the gym? And the person A says that, so I cannot afford a gym, so sorry, I cannot join it. Then you give another plan. So why don't you just walk around in your neighborhood? And then the other person says that it's not so safe in my neighborhood to go for a walk, and it's also due to some situations I cannot go. Then this person says, why don't you just take a walk in your own home itself? Probably you can climb stairs at least, that you can do. So this person again says that I've got a knee surgery or I've got a knee pain, okay, so now I cannot do this. So again this person says, why don't you diet at least so that you can maintain your weight? And for this person again says, yes, but my stomach is so sensitive, so I cannot afford to diet also. So he goes on giving some ideas and solutions. This person is going on rejecting. So finally what happens, a third person comes and says that, so this weight loss is such a very difficult thing to achieve. So this gives a familiar feeling for this person and says that, see, I told you it's not very easy to go for a weight loss and maintain the same position only. He maintains his own same position and he validates his life scripts. And this person can be called like a rescuer, who finally ended up feeling like I tried my best but I couldn't succeed. So these are the games we play without our knowledge. So what is it actually getting us? Let's go to that. Why do we even do that? See, we are actually doing it to maintain our life script. So I talked in details about the life script in my previous video. If you have not watched it, please do watch it. Only then you can understand this concept better. To have a difference in your life, also to make a lot of difference in your life, all these things will help. That's why I'm telling you, if you've not watched, please watch that video on the previous video on life scripts, because games are played majorly to maintain this life scripts. That is a major motto of these games. We try to maintain our life scripts, only then we'll feel like, okay, I'm like, it's validated. I feel the same way. See, I told you people are like this. See, I told you this is what I can do. See, I cannot lose weight. So to validate your own self and also to maintain your belief and confirm your belief about other people, we still go on to play these games. And one more life script also is there. See, I'm trying. I'm struggling this lone world against this, this whole world is so hostile and I'm here struggling alone. What these people will do is again play a game to make sure that they struggle, they get so hurt, and this will give a heavy feeling for people around others. So when actually others are trying to help them, these people are again, going to play a game and redefine the reality by saying that probably this person wants something from me. That's why they're trying to manipulate me. Actually, they're not kind. So when are they even really going to get in touch with the reality? Actually, these people are trying to be, good to him, kind to him, but his life script is not allowing him to see the reality in its the actual reality, but he's trying to discount it by saying that probably these people want my money, that's why they are behind me. Again, confirm his life script that I'm struggling alone in this cold world. See how far your games and life scripts and put you in this kind of situation. So games doesn't always end up well. There are like first degree games, second degree games, and third degree games, which are like third degree games are even more dangerous. So you may think that if it is so dangerous, doctor, then why do we play games? So I told you initially a reason why we play games, in order to maintain this life script, and why we have to maintain the life scripts and all that. Apart from this, there are a lot of psychological payoffs also related to this games. What kind of payoffs we get? Let's see. So first is we get the biological need satisfied, that is existential need, we could say. That is, we get strokes. The existential needs about maintaining your life position, that I'm okay and you're not okay. I guess you would have watched my previous video on life position. So all these concepts I'm discussing, it's in the TA series, one is related to another. So only you got to understand only by watching the previous videos also. So for new viewers or fresh viewers, you need to watch my previous videos to get clarity about it, because it's all like more psychological concepts, but I'm talking in more simple terms so that you can bring about some change in your life. I'm trying to tell into more practical examples. One practical examples I can tell you is what happens between couples. In my own clinical experience, I can give you some case studies about how people were playing games. See, let's say there is a couple who got newly married and they were like having a love marriage. So the woman she actually loved this guy and things went very well and they ended up in marriage. After that, this man started to drink, and this man started to, already he was drinking, but when they're living under the same roof, you could see how the situation gets out of hand. So he starts drinking continuously and he refuses to spend time with this woman, that is his wife, and he rejects her and doesn't, value her time also, and he doesn't give any time for her also. So she feels very rejected and she feels very low, she feels unloved. So all these things happens to this lady, and he ended up verbally abusing her also. He literally abuses her verbally, and also sometimes domestic violence do happen. But this lady was putting up with all this kind of abuse for a very long time. And at one point, she had this kind of, very negative feelings about this life and what's happening to her. And she decided to actually move on with her life by seeing another man. So she wanted to get out of this fight. So that moment she had this confusion and all that. So that is where the switch happens in the game. So now from this, what pattern she was in, she suddenly changed the pattern, and now she decided to walk out of that marriage. So this is where you need to watch closely. The payoff is going to happen. You may wonder like, what is a payoff? This is like a reinforcement or a reward a person gets when they play these kind of games. Even though you end up feeling very miserable, feeling like a loser, but still this is a kind of a familiar feeling. We call it as racket in psychology. All right. So when she left, she is very much clear with this idea that men are always bad. They start up with this relationship in a very positive way, and they always I'm always rejected at the end of it, because the second man she went to also, after some times she got rejected by him. So now she's convinced, oh God, at least I saved my life, and all these men are very bad and I get rejected always. So this is the kind of life script she maintains. And this man, when she decided to step out, he went back, begging her, why don't you come back to my life and all that. Despite all his attempts, she walked out. So he ended up feeling that he's a loser. But then if you take a closer look, who did this, what kind of behavior led him to this kind of situation. He is the one person who's responsible for this. He's the only person who's responsible, despite his wife trying to connect with him and giving a lot of talk, trying to connect with him. But she also knew deep down, and she didn't try a genuine attempt to change him, because she also wants to maintain her life script that men are bad and men may not like me, men may reject me. So these two people were trying to play games to maintain their life scripts, and finally it ended up in a disaster in their relationship. So that's why I'm telling you, these games are very dangerous. And again, coming back to the reasons why it's played is, people do play games to avoid this kind of unpleasant feelings, and also they don't want to feel very bad or negative. That's why they just play some games. And also to avoid some fearful situations in their life also, they do play these games. So for various such benefits, people are playing games. One reason is, like, again, on a couple example, always this woman complains, okay, it's again in a counseling situation I've seen this game, like, always this woman complains that my husband is very controlling and he never allows me to do anything whatever I wish, and this is how she's been complaining. And we took a closer look. I just called the spouse and said, why don't you just allow her to do something of her choice? Why don't you allow her to register in a dance class and let her go for a stage performance also after that. So then she went up to join a dance class and all that, and once she went for the stage performance, that time she experienced a very, very unpleasant feeling. And then only she realized, and I made her realize, that this is the reason you've been playing this game. And you'll be surprised to know that she has chosen this kind of dominant partner who will not allow her to face her fear. So she can easily tell, if it weren't for you, I would have actually danced, I would have done this, I would have done that. In order to actually repress her feeling, unpleasant feeling or fear of facing such kind of situation, that's a stage fright. She doesn't want to actually do that. So she looked for such a partner, dominant partner, and also she talked to friends who had such dominant partners. It's surprising how you actually choose people also in your life to maintain your life scripts. So you just get hooked onto this, the end of the rubber band, to play this game again and again to maintain this kind of life script. And why we do this, again, I told you this is the reason, and it actually helped her to stay away from the threat which she never wanted to face in her life. So she was comfortably blaming her husband for all her shortcomings in life. And when she had to be exposed to that and really had to face a situation, this had come out. But generally this kind of therapeutical intervention will not happen, so people will still continue to play these kind of games. So isn't it really surprising? So we have to know, how do we know that what kind of games we are playing? I'll give you one small example to find out, some clues to find out. Just think about situations which are happening again and again in your life. Okay, situations which are continuously, some patterns you could see. And then you think about, like, how the situation even started. Then next question is, ask yourself what happened next, and how the situation ended. And at the end of situation, how you felt. This is a very important point. At the end of the situation, how you felt, and how the person playing the game also felt about the situation. So this will give you a clear-cut idea about, maybe you are the person who started the situation also, to maintain this reality, to maintain this distort the reality and maintain your life script. So we say in Karpman drama triangles, a very famous concept again followed in this games people play. He talks about 3 positions, which is very important to understand. That is a victim, a persecutor, and a rescuer. So we can take any role at any point. That is, a victim is a person who maintains a position, who feels that he or she is not okay. I'm not okay. I'm helpless. So I need a persecutor. They may look for a persecutor, like playing a kick me game. The kick me is another game. Okay, they will look for such perpetrators in their circle or wherever, just to play this game that kick me, and because I'm always a victim, I'm the one victimized. So they will play this game, and perpetrators are the ones who will think that I'm okay and you're not okay. So they will continuously punish the victim. And rescuer is again a person who believes, like a perpetrator, I'm okay and you're not okay, and you're like helpless. You don't have the energy to help yourself. You don't have the ability to help yourself. And he looks down on another person and tries to bring up, pull up this person. But again, there's a switch which can happen. Rescuer can become a victim, as well as perpetrator can become a victim. So the characters and roles can still change. And in any lot of conflicts might happen between couples who are married, and also between in a romantic relationship, if you're in love or something. You can just retrospect about the last fight you had with your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend. You can always relate to these games with your fight. Okay, and every time you will end up feeling something similar. Probably it's not a positive feeling, it's not a pleasant feeling, but a very familiar feeling. You may feel like you're victimized, or you may feel like very angry, you may feel very suppressed, you feel very depressed. And similar feeling, that feeling is something which you have been experiencing it right from the childhood. So that we called it like a stamp we collect from a childhood, and we continuously wants to feel that, even though it is like a negative feelings only. Only then it gives a sense of familiarity and control. Okay, so this is why we kind of again and again choose people who will confirm that I'm not okay. Like a victim who will choose a perpetrator to tell, yeah, I'm not okay, and you proved it. So this kind of games can happen, and I hope I've given some clarity and try to make this kind of explanation as simple as, so that you can relate to your real life scenarios also, because this is a little complex concept in transaction analysis, but it's very important and a practical concept which you can apply in your real life, and you'll be surprised to know that these are the games I'm playing and these are the patterns which is emerging in my relationship. That is why I'm stuck in this kind of vicious cycle, which can get into a lot of negative disastrous consequences in terms of maybe divorce also can happen, and also people can live in misery and loneliness, or there are women who are like always feeling victimized, and there are men who feels like nobody loves me or cares for me. So all this can be a result of your life scripts. The reason why you want to confirm the life script is through these games. So for all these reasons we play, and finally what you have to do is be conscious about the games you play, identify the games you play, and also learn about the life position and break free from these games. Okay, and no need for any ulterior transaction. Why are we doing all this? Just to get our needs satisfied, isn't it? So in order to get our needs satisfied, we can be as well doing simple direct transaction, or directly expressing your feelings and needs, and getting rid of this, coming out of this really very vicious bad cycle about this negative life scripts you are caught up into. And once you're aware, you can break free from those life scripts, and also break free from this kind of dangerous games we play. So just retrospect about it and put in the comments box about whether do you really play games, and does it really help you or hurt you. And if you can identify the games also. Like I explained, only 2 games. There are a lot other games. You can just take a look at some games people play. This will give you some idea about the games you're also playing, and this awareness is heightening. This awareness through these videos will help you to break free from this kind of poisonous cycle, and allow you to live a life which is your conscious choice, and allow you to have an adult to adult complementary transactions. So all the very best for that, and thanks for watching this video till the end. Have a very nice day. Take care.